Today's topic is areas. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be discussing 4 new Pikmin 4 area ideas, because honestly I haven't seen a lot of people discuss areas. I will give you the first 3 ideas in which I think could be cool, probably not likely, but they're just some fun and cool ideas which I would love to see in Pikmin 4, and then for the 4th and final area, my friend Flamsey will present that one to you.
Hello everyone, and I'm very happy to be joining Wiggleman in his video today.
Make sure to go and subscribe to Flamsey. He makes great Pikmin theory and mystery videos. So starting off with my first idea, it is the kind of generic idea of some sort of gemstone slash mushroom cave, similar to the forest navel, except more centered around the gems and the mushrooms. Obviously it's kind of hard to think on this because we don't really know the direction that Pikmin 4 is going in. We don't know if we're collecting ship parts, if we're collecting treasures, if we're collecting fruits, or if we're going in a complete new direction. But the inclusion of gemstones would mean that rock Pikmin would have a heavy use in this area and could make for some really awesome sequences where you break through gemstones in the walls to either find secrets or maybe just collect the gemstones. And in terms of mushrooms, of course, we would see probably many glow caps and also the return of those bouncy mushroom things from Pikmin 3. Not to mention, maybe even the return of Puffstool from Pikmin 1. And obviously if we saw the Puffstool return, that would mean the entirety of Puffmin would also have to come back, which is a massive feature, so perhaps it's not likely, but I would absolutely love to see this, and this cave would be the perfect spot for it to be in. This place would also have the advantage of looking absolutely beautiful in game. Just all of the bright gemstones glowing and the mushrooms glowing would make for such a nice environment. And it could also mean the return of darker areas where light isn't at your advantage, and you can also power light bulbs with yellow Pikmin like Pikmin 3. Then this light would react with the environment and could be a new way to get a new Pikmin type, like the orange ghost Pikmin for example. This would also be a perfect spot for many enemies to return. For example, the Phosphats, the Gatling Groink, the Pyroclasmic Slooches, the Honey Wisps, the Jelly Floats, and the Volatile Dweevils. There is a lot of potential here, and I really hope that Nintendo swings out of just the 4 season areas. Although they are great, it would be awesome to see something more unique, like a gemstone and mushroom filled cave. Man, you can really tell I want caves back, can't you? My second idea is the outside and possibly inside of a volcano. And of course this place would be heavily tilted towards red Pikmin, and I really love the idea of certain areas being more tilted towards elements, so it makes more Pikmin more useful in certain areas. And of course this area would be red Pikmin's area. I can imagine it being a very red and bright atmosphere with loads of lava and fire geysers everywhere. Some areas in which you would have to get red Pikmin to either disable or to only go for it with no other Pikmin types. This would also mean the return of many fire enemies like the Pyroclasmic Slooch again, and also the fiery Bulblacks, and perhaps the fiery Blowhogs too. It could make for some really awesome puzzle sections where you have to find a really weird way to get some of your different Pikmin types over, let's say, a lava lake. Perhaps there could be some sort of event that can take place on some days, similar to how rain works in Pikmin 3, where there is some sort of meteor shower or something crazy. And perhaps that's something the boss in this area would do. Cause some sort of massive meteor shower down on your Pikmin, which would be terrifying and so much fun. This could also mean the return of certain Hey Pikmin enemies, like the fiery Groink and the fiery young yellow Wollywog. That is a sentence, oh my god. This would most likely be a endgame kind of stage, as there is many challenging enemies here and also very harsh limitations to what you can kind of do. I don't know why, but I can see this area really using enemies to your advantage, and you kind of have to trick the enemies into helping you over certain obstacles and stuff, which I really want to see in Pikmin 4 quite a lot. Now my third idea is kind of similar to some areas in Tropical Wilds. I would love to see a full-on beach area with not just kind of sandy areas, but a lot more focused on the watery parts. There could be small rock pools, or maybe you go into the actual ocean itself. There's a lot they could do here, and there is a lot of water enemies that I want to see return and I think are really cool. This could also make for some cool new enemies and new variants of enemies to come. For example, a Skitterleaf that instead floats on water and is connected to the bottom of the ocean via a small reed, so he can't go out of a certain radius. Something like that would be really fun to see. And perhaps considering that it is saltwater, there would be tropical variants of enemies instead of the original, as we don't know if the normal puckering Blino would be able to survive in saltwater. Tropical puckering Blino, that is hard to say. Water sections have always got me excited in Pikmin, and I think it's time that we finally go deeper. Literally. I want to go very far down into the water, meet some new creatures, do some new stuff, and perhaps there will be a second type of Pikmin that somehow work differently in water to blues, because obviously being restricted to just blues in an entire massive area kinda sucks, so perhaps we will see the goo Pikmin, maybe. But that's all I have to say on that front. Now let's pass over to Flamsey.
Now, let's get into my idea for an area in Pikmin 4. I think that an area taking place around or in a tree could be a very cool idea for Pikmin 4, especially if you scale the tree. This would allow for more verticality in Pikmin areas, which is something we don't see a lot of for some reason. The more vertical level design could allow for features like throwing pilots around or the jetpack from Hey Pikmin to return. Another feature from Hey Pikmin, the wing Pikmin carrying you as you fall, could return as well. Imagine you fall while scaling the tree, but you have wing Pikmin on you, so you're able to fall gracefully. I'm not sure about the rest of the Pikmin though, but I don't think Pikmin take fall damage. As for enemies inhabiting this tree, I'm not so sure. However, we do see an orange Bulborb and male Sheargrubs living in the tree in Snagrat Hole. Another enemy that could appear in this area is the Tree Borb. It is a creature that is mentioned in the Prima Guide and Player's Guide for Pikmin 1. Both guidebooks describe it as a juvenile Bulborb that lives in a tree before it starts to develop spots. So pretty much, it's a Bulborb larva with legs. When you get to the top of the tree, you could fight a boss, maybe a bird in its nest, or even a Scornet Maestro. It would have to be in a lesser form though, not as climactic as the fight in Pikmin 3. Armin Maudads are mentioned to live in hollowed out trees, so it could also possibly be a boss as well. Again, it would have to be less climactic than the original Pikmin 3 version. As for obstacles, I think bramble gates could work great here since they're obviously made out of wood. Wooden bridges and sticks wouldn't be out of place here, and I think they would work very well for the verticality of this stage. There could be an area outside of the tree, likely where you would land. This part of the area could have its own secrets as well. Maybe when you get to a certain level of the tree, you'll be able to walk out onto a branch, where you can use your wing Pikmin to fall gracefully into an area that was before inaccessible. But hey, these are just a few ideas for how a tree area could work in Pikmin 4. Thanks again to Wigmaman for including me in this video. See you guys later.
Well, isn't that a great idea? And with that being our fourth idea, this will now be the end of the video. Have you guys got any cool and quirky area ideas for Pikmin 4? If you do, let us know in the comments. It would be great to see what you guys come up with. And of course, thank you for watching, and a massive thank you to Flamsey for joining me for this video. Once again, make sure to go check him out. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye. And a massive thank you to my two Patrons, Gunnadahun and TenTickles. You guys are the best.